What's going on, you guys? Litmantuck is here with another book review, and today I want to talk about World-Tree's End by E.A. Cooper, narrated by the Soundbooth Theater. Now, I want to get into this book, man. Like, the thing is, 5 stars up on this book. The book was amazing, and here's something funny for me about the book. The book is not even my style, and I'm going to explain why. And I think I did this in another review on book 2 or book 1. The book is not my style. So whenever I do a GameLit book, whenever I read one, I love books with a lot of humor in them. And this one does not have really a lot of humor. It seems kind of serious. But the thing is, the book is so great, it doesn't matter what I like, So I may read some books that may not be up on the ratings or up on reviews, but it's my style, and so I'll read it anyway. This is a book that I would normally avoid because it's not my style. 1, because it doesn't have a lot of humor. 2, because the freaking time dilation. I don't like time dilation in books. 3, I don't like books where a lot of time passes by. And in the World-Tree, hundreds of years will pass by. And so those are things where I will automatically stop reading a book. But the funny thing is, I read book 1. And I enjoyed it. I read book 2. I enjoyed it. And even after book 2, I'm like, man, that was a good book. I'm not going to read book 3 because it's not my style. And then I read book 3, and I absolutely enjoyed it. I mean, it's just amazing. It's just a well-written book where it really doesn't matter what your style is, man. Like, you recognize game, you just got to recognize quality. And I only do Audible books because I'm always driving, But let me get into the review. And so, book 2, they were like Vince's avatar was captured for a bunch of years, and he escaped. So anyway, he's himself again. And in book 1, they make the angels insurmountable. They're undefeatable. You can't even get close. There's no way that you can gain enough power to fight the angels. Now, book 3, here we are, hundreds of years later. They've been training up their skills and everything, and they're finally strong enough to fight the angels. Now, in book 1, I believe Lucas was the main villain, where he was just trying to enslave motherfuckers, right? Book 2, the demon lord was taking over people's mind, so they always have a different villain in the book. Some of the challenge they have to face is not the same villain every single time. This time, the very angels, the very creators of the game are recognizing that, hey, these fools are getting ready to bust out of here, and we do not want them to bust out of here, so we're going to start throwing all sorts of things, like insurmountable things at them, right? So the main character, he lost his wife years ago, but he loves her very much, and so he's, you can hop different worlds. That's another thing. The book is massive. They have different worlds, and not just one world, different worlds. That's another thing that will cause me to automatically disqualify a book, not because it's bad, it's just not my style. But the thing is, this book is so good that all of a sudden it is my style. I am reading it. I enjoy it. I don't mind it. So anyway, he lands on a world, and he has to defeat the bosses to gain power, to get some more material and all that good stuff, right? But he sees a person on there that looks exactly and acts exactly like his wife. Because the thing is, in this game with the time dilation, they can get into your brain, and they can create anything. So they create Vince's wife, and it looks like her, talks like her, and he's getting very emotional. But he has to tell himself, no, this is the game trying to trick me, trying to stall me out. And the wife is saying, like, the avatar of the wife is like, hey, why don't you want to be with me? Why don't you want to stay with me? I've been here all by myself. And it is pulling on his heartstrings. Because the thing is, you can gain all the power, all the muscle in the world. The main character, he is a grinder. And so he would rather grind than do anything else. Where other people, like Jim, they'll open up a bar and they'll party for a few decades or whatever. Vince is on the grind, so he's like pretty much the most powerful player in the game at this point, right? And they realize that the game is trying to stop him. The angels are trying to stop him, so they make his wife, and it's a struggle, man. And the thing is, if he's able to defeat the bosses, he can jump time, but they make it to where he can't get off off that world. So he's basically on that world for at least a decade. And then he finally busts out of there. And it's just so much action in the book. It's very massive. I don't want to do too many spoilers in this one, because some books you can spoil and it's still okay to read it. This one, it's the third book. It's the trilogy. There's things going on in this book where if I told you right now, it'll just ruin it for you. You know, it is a massive book. Lots of things happen. Lots of years and decades do go by. I will tell you that much, because that's something that happens. That's something that happens in every book in the World-Tree series. So I'm not spoiling on that one, man. But the twist and turns that the books take is amazing. Like I said, man, if you've seen this book, this series, and you like GameLit, this is one of the ones that has to be in your collection. And the narration is great, of course, by Soundbooth Theater. Jeff Hayes is one of my favorite. But man, I'm trying to think. I think it's Justin Thomas. It's one of the other narrators, man. He really did his thing in this book. The reason is because he could take a villain and really take on the persona of a villain, not in a goofy way, all right, but in a very like dark and twisted way. Like, he really does a great job. Everybody does a great job on the narration, but I had to stop myself when I was like listening to the book. I'm like, damn, it was subtle, but this dude is on some next level stuff when it comes to his narration, right? So anyway, man, that's my review on the World-Tree's End. It's a trilogy. I enjoyed it. I loved it. Even though it's not my thing, it's not my style, I still loved it. Anyway, man, Litmantuck, I'm out.